welcome to Destiny. And in this video I am going to be showing you a plethora of weapons that I have picked up from the second Iron Banner tournament, and also an exotic called Telesto, a really fun looking fusion rifle. So let me go over the weapons that I'm going to be testing and showing you here on Venus. We have the Clever Dragon. Now the Clever Dragon is so popular in PvP at the moment, and I have to say, now that I have this pulse rifle, and in the Iron Banner they are dropping with many different what we call rolls on them, many different kind of ideas in terms of the thing here. These options, they are dropping differently. These 6 options here, the sights always remain the same, but these 6 options change. I had hoped to get a full auto one, but I didn't see one drop in my time in the Iron Banner, and that was on 2 characters, my main here on the Titan and my Warlock. And if you stay to the end of the video, you'll see my Warlock in a little compilation with music as she was doing her thing in the Banner tournament. But the Clever Dragon is an absolute joy to use, and I can see why it's so popular. And despite the fact that it has virtually no impact, what makes it so deadly are the other aspects to it. The rate of fire for a pulse rifle is really high, as you can see. It's got a good range, and depending on the perks you've got, you can get nice stability and reload speed and other things. So it's just worth going. As I said in my tournament video, the last video I posted, it's worth going there to get to level 5 if it doesn't drop for you, and it is bound to drop for you while you're doing the tournament, maybe several times with different rolls on it. Just a fantastic pulse rifle. I can't recommend it strong enough. A great primary weapon, a great switch out weapon perhaps. So after that, we're going to be looking at the Lingering Song. Now the Lingering Song is the Iron Banner's hand cannon, and once again all of the weapons have different rules. I'll just be demonstrating the loadout that I got and explaining which options I personally choose and showing you in action. And then there is the Unbent Tree, the auto rifle. But having tested this out in PvP, I can't really recommend it as a great auto rifle. I mean, the rate of fire is incredible. It does have a really good magazine, but the impact, as you can see, and the range are just so low that you effectively have to waste a whole magazine on somebody, and it's just not efficient as a weapon. The exotic I'm going to be showing you is in the next bit. The Laughing Heart sniper rifle, that's what I'm going to be showing. I was very lucky to get this. I only saw it drop once in both playthroughs of the tournament, and I was the one who got it. So I feel quite happy to have acquired the Laughing Heart sniper rifle, and I'm demonstrating that. And also there's Telesto, and I'll be going over Telesto, and of course the machine gun, the Silvered Dread, of course. So the Iron Banner still remains a great thing to get involved with. Even if you've got the weapons already, you may want to continue to see if you get different rolls, and perhaps some weapons like the sniper rifle that are much rarer in terms of drops. Now what I'm looking for here are enemies, and I'm sure I'm going to find some here in TempestLight on Venus, and there it is. It's like a beautiful sound to it, and that rate of fire is so quick. Now with the right setup, you can get a really nice reload speed. And the great thing about this weapon is that it's so versatile that you can use it basically interchangeably in PvP and PvE. I've been using this actually in the raid, believe it or not, over some of the other raid weapons. Now, okay, in certain situations you really want to be using some of the full auto raid weapons because there's so many ads, But to be honest, with this rate of fire, and of course my level being so high, you can get away with using this really easily. It's just an absolute joy to use, I have to say. And I've used more than one roll, more than one version of it, and I've been happy with all of them. But the one that I've got, I'll show you the loadout on it. I was quite happy with this, and it's the one I preferred. So, as I said, the iron, the sights stay the same, and that's because of the look of the gun. So I always keep it on the first sight because that one just seems to match my playing style. And then the particular perks I had here were hammer forged, which would improve the range and accuracy, or braced frame, which would increase stability but reduce magazine size. And also you can see it affects range, even though that's not stated. So I wanted to improve the range and accuracy. And I was lucky enough to get armor piercing rounds, so that's really good. They do stagger targets and do extra damage. I could have gone for more magazine, but again, you see how it starts to affect things. And then I had a choice between Head Seeker, which would increase the precision damage for a short time, or Outlaw, which increases the reload speed. Well, with the Outlaw perk, then I have better reload speed, and that combined with the rate of fire is a really pleasing combination. So, the Clever Dragon is a really, really great legendary weapon, and I can't really recommend it highly enough. Now, since we're at range, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out to the sniper rifle. Now, this is what it looks like. A beautiful sound, really beautiful sound. Nothing futuristic in that sound. That actually sounds like a rifle, doesn't it? That sounds like a bullet going from a sniper rifle. Very nice. It's got a lovely look to it. It feels very stable. I'm just going forward to see if I can find some enemies. This is a beautiful area, isn't it? The endless steps. So there's one. Let's just aim at this. Very stable, very, very stable. There's hardly any kick to this rifle at all. I'm getting shot there, so that's why I moved. But considering that the sniper rifles were changed with the idea that they would be harder to use and harder to aim, less assist if you like, a little bit of wobble, I don't pick that up from that sniper rifle at all. That the sniper rifle in other words is acting as all or an awful lot of sniper rifles did before Bungie changed their opinion about how they should work. So again, I'll demonstrate. See that it only moved a little bit. You expected a little bit of a kick with a sniper rifle, but it hasn't actually moved. I can leave. See, I can leave it sighted, and the sight's not moving. There's no wobble. There's no real stability issues with this. Fantastic. So, whether or not that's because of the roll I got on the sniper rifle, I'll just go over what the effect of that was. Well, I'm using a hand blade stock, so you know I get an awful lot increased stability and reduced range, and the reinforced barrel would increase the range but reduce stability. So let's swap that out, and let's just see how will that make a big difference. Well, again, I'm sighting and there doesn't seem to be any particular wobble. Let's go up and look for a target. So what I'm doing now is I'm sacrificing stability apparently for range. Okay, so there's our next helpless victim perhaps. Let's have a look. No, I don't really notice that much of a difference, to be honest. That's still very stable compared to an awful lot of sniper rifles we use now. So, I highly, if you can get hold of that sniper rifle, I would be, you know, personally, you should be, I would say you should be very pleased, because it's not, you know, I spent an awful lot of hours in the Iron Banner tournament on both characters, and I didn't see that rifle drop at all. It only dropped towards the end for me, and I didn't see it drop again after that. So if you can get hold of one of those, I would consider yourself very, very lucky, and you can see how it performs. Absolutely fantastic. So let's go to the lingering song. Now this hand cannon, as I said in the past, I don't really do hand cannons. It's not my forte at all, but I actually like this one. And on the Titan I had a quest for the Crucible, Lord Shaxx to do, which was basically to get hand cannon kills, and I decided I would use this one. And the reason I like it is because you can use it from a good range. In fact, what I started to learn was that this hand cannon at medium range, which is pretty much there, it's quite demanding in terms of range. If you're in the wrong range, it doesn't work very well. But about that range, because it has such a high impact, it's pretty much deadly. It's not a close quarters pistol, really, like the, can I think of the exotic, the one that everybody uses that they've got to fire. I'll think of that in a minute. And I'm not sure how really it fares against Hawkmoon, but I could tell you that for a legendary pistol, and for somebody who doesn't use pistols, I actually find this a really nice weapon to use. Again, I'm also wondering, is that because of the particular perks on there? So I'm going to go over, I'm actually using small bore, which increases range, stability and slow reload, reduced magazine. I could put the oil frame on, which is faster reduced range, but you see what it does to range and stability. So just for a little test out, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go to oil frame over that and see if it dramatically affects the actual performance of the gun. So we've got one there. Still it's about the same range, and I'm not really picking up much difference, to be honest. It seems to be behaving pretty much the same. So yeah, I would say that really getting hung up on the rolls too much on the weapons may be a bit misleading, unless of course it's a really, you know, drastic kind of difference, like full auto on the pulse rifle or something, because that behavior didn't really change much in terms of the way that it plays. But I'm going to keep it on that one because that's how I wanted to set it up. So that's the lingering song. A really nice hand cannon. If you could pick that up in the tournament, I'm sure you're going to be pleased. And then we'll go to the unbent tree. Now, yes, the unbent tree. The demonstration here isn't going to be that great because I'm going now to be going up against relatively low level. Well, they are low level enemies compared to my light level. And the real test of this weapon, of course, being a fast-firing assault rifle where you want to close in on your target and get into short range in PvP, is PvP. And I did use it briefly in the tournament when it dropped for me. I was quite excited. I thought, oh, I've got the tournament auto rifle. I hope this really works well. But in my opinion, and I don't really think this is going to be corrected by any perks you could get on the gun, I don't think it really performs as well compared to other guns of its type. So let's have a look. I mean, it is very stable, I can give you that much. There's hardly any shake, but which is great for PvE, as you can see. There's no problems with the stability, which seems actually to be, as you may have noticed now, a feature of the Iron Banner tournament weapons. The stability in all of them seems to be very, very good compared to an awful lot of other weapons that you could compare them to. The problem with this, as I've said, is because that impact is so painfully low. I mean, if they could have raised the impact just slightly, then I think this would have been a great legendary auto rifle to use in PvP, but I think people are going to find it very difficult to use this in PvP, and it is primarily for that purpose, being a fast rate auto rifle. So that is the unbent tree, but it looks fantastic, I have to say. I have to give it that. So, let's now go on to Telesto, which is just such a fun-looking fusion rifle. Let's switch out to it. There it is. It's a beautiful-looking machine. And recently, they've added ornaments, and I'll show you what the ornaments look like. You can have the Queen's Command, that makes it look that fantastic kind of hot rod purple, and then you have the Lingering Vestige, which is the one I would particularly like because that falls in line with the ship that you can still get for beating Skolas in the arena, and it looks like this, the Hildian Seeker. So if you look at the Hildian Seeker, you see that effect on the ship, and that so they've carried that effect on to the weapon. So let's see how it plays out. Now, make sure we've got this charged. Do you see all those effects go off it? That's the fun aspect of it. It basically kind of plays munitions on the target. Isn't that wonderful? It's kind of like, oh, that didn't do much damage, and then BAM! It's such a delight to use. Oh, it's one of the most interesting exotics. I mean, the design is very nice and sleek and very modern, but it's that idea, and yeah. There are videos on YouTube that you could probably find where players are just in PvP using it. In fact, one of the YouTube channels I strongly recommend is Badass Gaming, which is BADASS Gaming. I'll put a little link to it. And he and his team, they do an awful lot of things like that, where they'll go in and they'll just use one specific weapon or certain rules in PvP all the time, and it's absolutely hilarious. Fantastic channel, very inspirational for us Destiny content makers. So yes, that was the Telesto. Now I'm going to finish out with the Silvered Dread. Yes, let's test out the big beastie. Now we're going to find some enemies. And what's going to be really interesting, because I haven't actually used this, I mean, it looks a beast of a machine, is does it actually behave the same way? Is the stability on it really good? Now, of course, machine guns, stability is quite important with you have a high rate of fire, and you're looking for something that isn't going to really let you down in that respect. But let's have a look. I mean, look, 108 in the magazine. There, they're right in front of us, little group. Beautiful sound to it. And to be fair, that's quite a quick reload speed for a machine gun, to be honest. That is fairly stable again. Very stable. Beautiful sound to it. That's quite a quick reload speed. So let's just look at the rolls I've got on it, because I've only freshly got these items. I wanted to test them out. We have, unfortunately, amount of weapon parts, but this is without actually using any of the perks. And this particular one is void damage, very, very useful. Improved range and accuracy, we could have that. Or faster reload and reduced range, and then quick draw, snapshot, spray and play, and persistence. So persistence would be one that I would take there at the end. But actually testing it out now, I can see that I don't think anybody using this is really going to have a problem with stability. I mean, you expect a bit of a kick. You expect a bit of a kick from a machine gun because it's slow rate firing. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's a great little machine gun there. So again, I think you're going to be very, very happy if you pick one of those up. And again, I know that people are getting hung up on the rolls, but the fact is all of these Iron Banner weapons look fantastic. And as I've shown and demonstrated, most of them are very, very stable and sure-footed, sure-sighted. Very good stuff. Well, thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm hoping you are having great luck, or if you're going to go into the Iron Banner, you have great luck. I'm going to leave you now with a little montage of my Warlock in action. Catch you!
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! This is where they die! And these shield boys! Remember this day, man, or it will be yours for all time!